Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of, what is it, coffee time? I don't know, is that what we're doing? I get so confused these days because I haven't done one of these for a few days because I'll do other ones. You just can't do everything at once. Good news, everybody. More banks are closing. Does anyone use the bank? Apparently another 40 bank branches will be lost off of UK's high streets as Lloyds Halifax announced more closures. Does anyone use the bank anymore? It's all done online, isn't it? Everyone does online? Okay, just me then. What else have we got? Let's do some court news. Going to the High Court, and this is Stephen Peed. No, he might have peed once, but Stephen Peed. It's an unfortunate name, but he's at the High Court because he's fighting in court for a share of his late stepfather's £1 million fortune. Yeah. He reckons that the solicitor made a mistake, and handed over £300,000 of his father's £1 million fortune to 3 charities. Yeah. He claims that his stepfather, James Mackay, who died in February 2021, had promised him and his wife around £500,000 of his fortune and told him, "You can retire when I die." But a mistake was made, and it reduced the couple's share to around £280,000, and he's aggrieved. And look, here's his stepfather's home in West Sussex. There we go. Nice. But lawyers for 3 charities, Macmillan Cancer Support, Prostate Cancer UK and Cancer Research UK, insist the will should not be changed and that Mr. Peed just wanted to benefit. So there you go. I mean, I wonder how that's going to turn out. But yeah, the judge is reserving his ruling on the case until a later date. So we have to wait. What's going on? Meanwhile, on TikTok, we're going to TikTok, that's the sound, their brain cells knocking together. Alison Delpadang, what a great name. Here she is. This is Alison Delpadang on TikTok. She looked a bit surprised. She set the question about how often you should wash your pyjamas. She said, "I need to know if people wear their pyjamas multiple nights in a row," because she does. She wears her pyjamas 3 nights in a row, and here she is in her pyjamas. And people were saying, "What? You don't change them every night?" One guy was honest and said, "I wear them for a week." And another one was shocked that that people don't wear their pyjamas multiple nights in a row. Or you could be like me. I don't have to worry about washing my pyjamas. I don't have any. And if I did, I'd get the missus to do it. Hooray! How to pronounce words. Yep. We've got some words. 10 most hard to pronounce words. Efi. Shusha. Omicron. Kiev. Akasi. What? Neve. I know that one. Siobhan. Know that one. Because the hairdresser was called that when I was a kid. Mum's hairdresser was called Siobhan. So everyone knows that's gyros, but they're saying it's heroes. Oh, we could be gyros just for one day. Nguyen, and schedule. What a great news report that was. I feel so much more enlightened. Obviously a slow news day at the Daily Mail. Slow news day. You've heard of bucket lists. Now people are doing anti-bucket lists. Yeah. This is on is this on Reddit? Yeah, it's on Reddit. And somebody says anti-bucket list, something you wouldn't want to do again. Swim with dolphins. Dougal suggests, because they're fast. New founder says go to Times Square for New Year's Eve. Absolutely, I'm with them on that one. Who'd want to do that? Who'd want to do that? Bungee jumping. And yeah, go to a strip club. Never felt so awkward in my life. Well, come on, it's not that bad. It's only awkward if you're performing there, isn't it? Isn't it? No? Okay. Meanwhile, Dishy Rishi's in hot water. Did you see him? He was doing this thing. Yeah, I don't know. He's doing some sort of video, and in this video, was it on his? I think it might have been on his Instagram. He was in a car, but he wasn't wearing a seatbelt, and the car was moving, and so everyone says he should step down, and the tourists should all like step down, and I don't know. My brain kind of turned off, but now the Lancashire police are investigating because not wearing a seatbelt can be punished with a fine of up to £500. Though you're more likely to get a £100 fixed penalty notice. Nobody cares. What else have we got? Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, this is school dinner update. Do you remember we went to the parent who was complaining about the size of her son's school dinner? Do you remember? She reckons that this was tiny. Well, some other parents have jumped in and said, hold my beer. Have you seen what the Outward Academy at Acklam in Middlesbrough serves? And frankly, I'd send this back. I mean, that don't look good. Is that pink in the middle? Is that chicken pink? This is Royd's Hall School in Paddock. That's enough to give you Royd rage. Royd's Hall School. See, Royd rage. Royd, no. And this is, well, no, it's just some chicken and rice. I mean, it's a bit plain, but at least you get a plate full. And I think this is some cat food and some rice. So there you go. Let's all compare our grub. I think that's what social media's for, isn't it? Taking pictures of your food. Meanwhile, in Kensington, there is an artist going round. They call him the Banksy of Kensington. And he's been putting strange blue plaques up. And people are trying to figure out what it all means. Is it real? Is it, is it an art installation? That one said a place where during lockdown you could walk down the middle of the road. It was like it was 1860. You could do that here. Near this place I hurt a man's ego, and in turn he hurt my face. I mean, it's kind of cool, I guess, and you wouldn't necessarily notice them. I bet an art student's done this for a photography project or something. What do you reckon? Oh, it's got a bit, and then it gets a bit dark. Oh, I don't like that. Now I've gone right off of it. This definitely feels like it's an art installation, isn't it? So there we go. Are you the Banksy of Kensington? If so, leave a comment in the comment box below. See what I did there? Now we've got some surgery news. This is Nick Pappas. He's from New Orleans in Louisiana, and he's an orthopedic surgeon. And he's been posting some pictures of things he's removed from people's hands. And we like things. Well, normally it's orifices, isn't it? Places where you shouldn't stick things. But this is hands. So, loose screw. I like it. A sea urchin spine. Interesting. That's Nick Pappas himself. An entire bone. So obviously someone, needed some help. And there he is. So yeah, there we go. Things he's removed from hands. It's alright, isn't it? What else have we got here? Oh god, that's a miserable one. Here we go. This is they've got a new game on the Daily Mail website, and it's do you keep your food in the fridge or in the cupboard? I don't know. Does anybody know? What's the answer to that? Fridge or cupboard? And apparently there are some things you should do and shouldn't do. Eggs, you're not supposed to be put in the fridge, but I put what? Oh, this is cobblers. So eggs, there's debate whether they should go in the fridge. Meat, fish and leftovers, obviously the fridge. Dairy, fridge. Bread in the cupboard. Yeah, you wouldn't put bread in the fridge. Jam, sauces and salad dressings, yeah, obviously in the fridge. It says so on the bottles. Fruit, apples and pears in the fridge. No, leave them out. There's some ketchup. That's a Shutterstock image of ketchup, just in case you didn't know. No, you can't put apples and pears in the fridge because there'd be a pear. Have you ever had a pear that's like really hard? I like it when they're a bit softer to eat. I remember we got some pears in, and one was so hard and woody it put me off pears for about 6 months. Bananas in the cupboard, absolutely, because you want them to ripen properly. Berries and grapes, fridge, absolutely. Tomatoes, cupboard. I tend to keep ours in the fridge because I like a really cold tomato. Don't really want a lukewarm tomato. That's just me though. Vegetables in the fridge. Sometimes I keep them in the cupboard. It all depends how I'm feeling. Potatoes in the cupboard, absolutely. And we do have pictures of potatoes just in case you're suffering from some sort of medical condition. Onions in the cupboard and chocolate either. No, chocolate fridge. It should be rock hard. Peanut butter in the cupboard, rice in the cupboard, olive oil in the cupboard. Who would put olive oil in the fridge? They must be mad. Now, I've just wasted time reading a load of silly stuff. That was just stupid, wasn't it? That was just stupid. That was stupid. What else have we got? That is my story for the end. Because there's a story. Do a story at the end. Right, this is Gina Hendricks. She's a matchmaker from Los Angeles. I don't know, it looks a bit crazy to me, but she's talking about on the TikTok men's careers women should be aware of. Okay. Right, okay, what careers should you be aware of, right? Plastic surgeons. Because they want everything to be perfect. Yeah, but then you get all that stuff done for free then, don't you? If you were the plastic surgeon, get all the work for free. And she says attorneys or lawyers or solicitors, she says they are super neurotic. And you go, yeah, but again, if you need any conveyancing done or will drawn, you know, you've got someone to... Really? Yeah, apparently lawyers are paranoid. I think that's rubbish. Or you can just go out with a lovable loser like me. Just never had any better offers. Ain't that the truth, Mrs.? She's laughing. Ain't that the truth? What else? Okay. Now this is something that this is from the Ventura Hair Studio in Market Bosworth in Leicestershire. They took to their TikTok page, right? Because they showed you. Right, they showed you how to wash your hair properly. Right, first of all you got to wet it, then you got to lather it, and you scrub it, and then you rinse and shampoo again. And as you can imagine, someone like me, that keeps me awake at night. That sort of thing keeps me awake at night. But so now you can go on TikTok and see how to wash your own hair. I bet it's had millions of views. Millions. Meanwhile, let's go to Welsh Wales. They reckon that there's been 2 large black cat sightings. Is there a puma in Wales? And they found a footprint. Again, looks a bit like a cowpack, but trust me, it is a footprint of something large. Let me just pull that up a bit. Because what they've done is can you see that? Oh, maybe there are pumas in Wales. Who'd have thunk it, eh? Are there any pictures? So yeah, if you're in this area, near Denbigh, pumas, there be pumas. And yeah, look, that could be a puma, could be a cat, could be a dog, could be a branch. It could be a mother and some ducklings walking across. It could be anything you want it to be. Could be the Loch Ness Monster. Could be Lord Lucan riding Shergar. We'll never know. So there you go. There, pumas in Welsh Wales. Ooh, that's Meanwhile, who remembers Heather Mills? Do you remember she was married to that guy who was in that band? Do you remember that? You know, that guy was in that band that everyone liked. And then there was Heather Mills. And she, right, here she is on the video. Right, she's been crowned the world's fastest disabled female skier. Yeah. And there she goes. She clocked up speeds of 102.5 miles an hour. That's 164.95 kilometres per hour if you come from one of those other countries that don't use miles per hour. So there you go. Ex-Mrs McCartney goes really fast. Because she lost her leg she was hit by a police car many years ago. And there you go. World's fastest disabled skier. I didn't know there was a thing. Who wants to look at some rubbish tattoos? Rubbish tattoos. This is a tattoo of the heroine from the recent Netflix series Wednesday. That's not good. This one's a very accurate rendering of Batman. Isn't it? Isn't it just? And this one, she's got a boyfriend. Her name tattooed on her boyfriend. So you can't... Yeah, you might want to... It says refuse to sink on an anchor, which is prime. Its prime purpose is to. He refused to think when he had that done. And this is for the patriot in your life. That's not bad, that's a pretty good one actually. I think it's pretty good. And yeah, that's not good, is it? Might have a bit of a problem. And everyone needs a live, laugh, love tattoo. They've probably got signs up around their house that says home, bath, cook, piss, shit. And this is Jesus looking sad. But again, not a bad tat. Nice bit of artwork, that, if you like that sort of thing. And I'm not sure what this is. I think this is a Clockwork Lion or something. So there you go, some bad tats for you. Or good tats, depending on your opinion. They went from bad to better. Meanwhile, in Japan, let's look at a giant squid. It's a big squid. Like, it was 8.2 feet long, 2.5 metres long. Look at that. What a whopper. Off the coast of Toyooka City, a diving instructor, Yoshiki Tanaka, and his wife Miki saw the giant squid. But that isn't the animal story of the day. More court news. This is in Suffolk, in the village of Clare in Suffolk, the Bell Hotel. And a guy was thrown out of a pub. Again, there was an altercation. And again, the video footage here doesn't really show you what's going on. But he returns, on the CCTV footage here, he returns. And you don't quite see it because you need the picture to be enhanced. Right, he's been thrown out and he returns, and yeah, in that moment he comes back in the pub with an axe. Yeah, landscape gardener David Perry got into a row with a family group at the 16th Century Bell Hotel in Clare, Suffolk, and he was ejected. And he came back with a 3-foot-long axe, ran back into the bar, and brought the blade down and split open gardener Matt Cutt's head. Head. The jokes write themselves. Yeah, he was felled and suffered a deep cut to his skull. And you can see the aftermath here with him lying on the floor. No. You can see his victim laying on the floor there. You don't actually see the blow going down because, hey, that would be awful. And surgeons reckon millimetres, either way, and he would have avoided, he would have been either crippled or dead. And yeah, the guy was found guilty and convicted of attempted murder, by a jury at Ipswich Crown Court. Took a jury more than 8 hours to reach a 10-2 majority verdict. And Judge Martin Levitt will sentence Perry next month. Detective Constable Jacqueline White of Suffolk Police said this was a cowardly attack and a frightening experience for the victim, the family, and those who witnessed it. He was very lucky to have survived. I mean, blimey. Meanwhile, in the Cotswolds, aircraft firm Zero Avia have released this footage. Wow, look at that. What's that? I'll tell you what that is. That is its Dornier 228 plane. It went off on Thursday afternoon, that was yesterday, near the Cotswold Airport near Cirencester, Gloucestershire. The 19-seat plane is the first because it has a hydrogen electric engine in its left wing, while the other is a turboprop. So it's got one of each. And yeah, we're moving towards an era of guilt-free flying. Imagine that, hydrogen-powered planes. Just need to get cars running like that as well, don't we? Meanwhile, we're going to play Spot the Actor. You might get this one. Who's this actor? He's filming a role at the moment. Can you guess who it is? You got it? No? Okay, it's an easy one. It's an easy one. It's Shia LaBeouf. There you go. Peanut Butter Falcon. Great film. Go watch it. So what else have we got? Let's go to America. This is the story of Marcella Hill, who's 41. She told her story about her and her husband Tag to her 300,000 followers on TikTok. Here she is. She's telling her story. And here they are together. And they did one of those genealogy things. You know, they did a family search. And they was looking at the results, and he said, "Look, that's funny. Our grandma and grandpa's names are the same." And yeah, they're cousins. They're third cousins. So yeah, they actually accidentally married their own cousin. That's all right. That's not, that's not a problem, because they're third cousins. They're distant enough, aren't they? I think that's all right. I think we can do this one. It's a animal story. We're going to do it early. This is the story of Seamus. We've got a picture of Seamus. Here he is. Here's Seamus with his owner. Oh no, it's not his owner. This is firefighters. It gives you a clue, because he's not with his owner yet. What happened to Seamus? Well, Seamus got caught in some flooding in California, and his owner tracked him down because he put an air tag on his collar, and they tracked him down. He got washed away in the flood, right? I mean, it must be terrifying. And they found him trapped in a storm drain like that. Poor Seamus. And they rescued him, and here he is being reunited with his owner. There we go. Ah, so that's that's an idea. That's a good idea, getting your dog a Apple tag. That's a pretty neat idea. Could be worth doing. Putting that on the dog's collar. Oops, close that one. Right, now we're gonna learn a new word. Yeah. Yeah. What's the new word? We're going to be learning new words, because I like to educate you. It's very important to me that we educate people here. We're going to learn about a condition called gigantomastia, right? Because this is the story, right, of Pamela James, who's 27, out of Melbourne in Australia, and she's an OnlyFans model, but she suffers with gigantomastia, which means that her breasts have grown to double M sizes. Yeah, M cup, and they're probably going to continue to grow. As of 15 years ago, only 110 cases of the condition had ever been published in medical literature. Yeah. She says it's left her with massive physical and mental discomfort. And she said her mental health is also suffering because people give her dirty looks when she's out in public, and so sends her to stay at home. Yeah. But she's still got some way to go. before she matches Annie Turner Hawkins, who's a 66-year-old model from the US, and she holds the Guinness World Records for the world's largest breasts. Here she is. So, hey, I plan to educate you. You know, gigantomastia. No? Okay. Meanwhile, right, we're going back to Australia, to New South Wales. Colin Schumark, right? He is a professional reptile catcher, right? And he told the story on a where was he? He was telling the story to I think it's the Australian Mail, and he was talking about the time a customer decided they weren't going to pay him. It seems a bit mean. So he explains what he did. He said, "You're not going to pay me, and I'm not going to leave, so I'm going to the police." So yeah, he threw the snake into the person's house. Yeah. And it was one of these. It was a red-bellied. I mean, I wouldn't want one of these red-bellied snake. Apparently, it's like I wouldn't want one of those slithering around. But yeah, always pay your snake catcher. Meanwhile, this is we're going to Gujarat. This is the Uttarayan festival, where they fly kites. Wow, that looks cool, isn't it? Yeah, it's an international kite festival near Ahmedabad in western Gujarat, and you can see more kites flying around there. And have we got another one? Here we go. Here's someone sending a kite off. But the festival has been mired because nearly 200 people were injured whilst flying kites at the festival. 6 people died, including 3 children, when they got tangled. You know, when the kite, they have this thing called kite fighting, where the cords are razor sharp. The idea is that you tangle the cords and it cuts the kite, and the other guy's kite kind of falls to the ground. Well, anyway, some of the people there got tangled in these razor sharp cords and had their throats cut. Yeah, like I said, 3 children, 2 girls aged 2 and a 3-year-old. Oh, sorry, two girls aged 2 and 3, as well as a 7-year-old boy died. So yeah, killed by a kite. Isn't that terrifying? That's not good, is it? Meanwhile, let's go to Florida. Who wants a good Florida story? Yeah, this is a local landmark in Cape Romano, Florida, known as the Dome House. And let's have a look. Oh, let's get it lined up properly. That's what it looked like. That's the Dome House, right? But now, after hurricane, it looks like this. They've succumbed to the sea. Hurricane Ian called the dome houses to fall into the sea. They look like science fiction, buildings, something from a sci-fi film. But yeah, they were created by an oil businessman turned hobbyist inventor named Bob Lee. And the idea is that those buildings, which were created in 1981, were created using sand from the local beach to make the concrete. It was a 2,400 square foot design, and they had solar panels. There were 6 geodesic domes to begin with, and they were meant to be hurricane proof. Yeah, but obviously not anymore. So there you go. Hurricane Ian got the best of them. There you go. So they weren't going to last forever, were they? Okay, imagine it's the 1980s. Do you want to know how to survive a nuclear explosion? Well, it's been a study, right? It's been a study of where the best place to stand. Right? This is researchers. Does it say where they're from? It doesn't say. Where is it? University of Nicosia. They simulated an atomic bomb explosion. This is Nicosia in Cyprus. Here you go. Like you do. And they determined where the best place is to be when the bomb goes up. So there we go. Ooh. This is their simulation. I mean, it doesn't look like much at the moment, does it? And there we go. And that's it. When it hits your home, they've done this amazing study into nuclear blast. Basically, stay away from windows and doors. That's it. Windows and doors. I mean, I could have told you that. You didn't need. You didn't need big studies. Meanwhile, Matt O'Boyle from Dublin, he went to TikTok to show people. Here he is. Here's Matt. But he went to TikTok where he's got 35,000 followers because he bought a bar of dairy whole nut. Who eats whole nut? At least get fruit and nut. And he was a bit upset because he found only one nut in his whole nut. So now they call him Matt One Nut. Yeah, a single hazelnut in the centre of the 180 gram bar, and he was upset. I bet his day was spoilt. Meanwhile, in Mexico, I'm going to stretch this out a bit because we haven't had one for a few days. Michael Alonso, he was a thief, and a 32-year-old visited his local church in Monterrey in the early hours of the morning. And this is a report that's been translated by the Catholic News Agency. And he actually stole, right? He stole a sword at this church, the Christ the King parish in Monterrey. There's a statue of St Michael, right? And he stole the sword because this isn't that. This is just a statue of St Michael, illustrating that often St Michael carries a sword. Well, anyway, Michael Alonso thought, I'm having that sword. He stole it from his namesake. He broke into the church, right? Stole the sword. But on his way out, he was a little bit drunk. He tripped and cut his neck open with the sword, causing him a serious injury. Yes, he tripped over. Yeah, he was cut by the blade of St Michael, defender of the church. Some in the locality see this as divine retribution. There you go. Lupita, who's a local shop owner in the area, told ABC Noticias that happened to him for doing bad things. She said, St Michael is for our protection to combat evil, and I think that's what's happened. There you go. So there you go. Don't be stupid and try and do any crime when you're drunk. Anyway, I'm going to end with a toad story. This is a toad that has been discovered in Conway National Park in North Queensland Queensland Department of Environment and Science said rangers were clearing a trail when they found the toad, and he weighs 2.7 kilos. Ranger Kylie Gray said they were blown away by the monster. So let's have a look at him. Shall we have a look? Here we go. Here he is. He's a monster toad, and they're weighing him there. Right, but there's a better picture of him. Here we go. Look at that. What a whopper. And they're calling him Toadzilla. Up from the depths, 30 stories high, Toadzilla and Toadzuki. Just me then. Okay. And that, as they say, is that, because I think I've done enough damage for one day. Hopefully it's made up for some missing episodes of Coffee Time. I think we've done enough damage, and we'll see if there's anyone in the chat room. 8 people in. That's not many, is it? Andrew's in. He says hi. David Crosby is dead. Yeah, but I'm still here. He was very, very old. And Andrew says, put him off his lunch. G-Man says, afternoon. I'm just scoffing a Mexican-inspired egg and chorizo sarnie for lunch. It's a bit weird tasting. I was going to do an item about deep-fried cream eggs. The Scots have been deep frying cream eggs, but I think they've been doing that for a while. There was a story going around about them, but I thought, that's just, the Scots don't do things like that, do they? Zeb says, new Jethro Tull song out today. Reminded me very much of the last 3 Jethro Tull Ian Anderson albums. I've just reviewed it, but it's rendering while I'm doing this. So keep your eye out. Andrew says, I like a nice pair. Don't we all? But any more than a mouthful is a waste. G-Man says, I'm on the opposite of you. I prefer room temperature tomato, especially a room temp tomato with sarnie, with a wee dab of salt. Oh, I like salt on my sandwiches. On my tomatoes in my sandwich. Well, I like cold tomatoes in the summer. You know, I don't tend to, funny enough, I don't have cold tomatoes in this time of year. I'm talking about, like, imagine it's a summer's day and you're having a nice sandwich, nice cold tomato. Oh, Andrew says, we've got the beast of Bodmin here. That's no way to talk about your mother, is it? G-Man says, did you know in Iceland there's a list locals can get? Basically, it's a list of names and surnames who shouldn't have sex together, as they would be related. Stops inbreeding. They have a similar thing in Norfolk, but they call that dating. That's a dating list. I think I'm going to get banned from Norfolk. Andrew says, blimey, where does she live? Who knows? Got OnlyFans. G-Man says, there are chippies down in Glasgow that bat and deep fry any chocolate bar you take in. That's not good, is it? Anyway, thanks for watching. That was Coffee Time. Killing the channel, one video at a time. The cup's over there. You better drink it up. Have a good weekend. Ta-ta.